Have you ever truly considered the profound difference between simply closing your eyes at the end of a long day and consciously surrendering to the transformative power of the night? For most, sleep is merely a necessary pause, a temporary cessation of effort. We crave its restorative embrace, yet rarely view it as an active participant in our waking pursuits, much less a deliberate strategy for growth. We often approach the dark hours with a sense of relief, a retreat from the world's demands, unaware that for some, the night has always been a subtle, potent ally, a silent partner in the meticulous orchestration of their greatest successes. Tonight, as the world quiets around you, we'll explore a different perspective on these nocturnal hours, one quietly understood by a select few throughout history, those who build enduring legacies and amass significant fortunes. They possess an almost mystical comprehension of how the time between sunset and sunrise can be leveraged not just for physical recovery, but for mental clarity, strategic insight, and the subtle expansion of their influence. This isn't about working through the night or sacrificing sleep for endless ambition. It's about an ancient, almost forgotten wisdom, integrating the deepest rest with the highest aspiration, allowing success to unfold even as the body recharges. Imagine a realm where time doesn't simply pass, but subtly works for you. A space where intentions set before slumber resonate through quiet hours, influencing the subconscious, shaping the dawn, and aligning elements of your life towards a singular purpose. The challenge in our fast-paced world is the erosion of this quiet understanding. We are taught to chase, to strive, to actively do in every waking moment, often overlooking profound, passive yet powerful contributions that deep stillness and intentional rest can make. This oversight, we might argue, is a significant, least discussed disparity between those who effortlessly accumulate wealth and those who struggle. Tonight, we invite you to recline into the gentle flow of a story designed to soothe your spirit and awaken your quiet wisdom. We're not offering quick fixes or instant wealth formulas. Instead, we're embarking on a journey through time and tradition, revealing the subtle threads connecting restful nights with extraordinary achievements. You will discover not just historical anecdotes or intriguing legends, but a new lens through which to perceive your own relationship with the night. As the narrative unfolds, you might begin to sense a calm realization. The stillness of night is not an empty void, but fertile ground, ripe with possibilities. So, settle in, let your breath deepen. Allow your mind to release the day's lingering concerns. Prepare to listen with an open heart and a curious spirit, as we unveil timeless insights that have quietly shaped destinies. By the time our story gently concludes, you may find yourself not just drifting into sleep, but consciously embracing the night as a powerful, peaceful partner in your own journey, understanding that true mastery often begins not with the clamor of the day, but with the profound, strategic silence of the hours when the world sleeps. This is a journey to transform mere rest into a conscious, tranquil act of cultivation, surrendering to profound power of time, even when your eyes are closed. Buenas noches. Bienvenido o bienvenida a esta historia de dormir, un viaje susurrante a través del tiempo y la mente. Mientras el mundo exterior se apacigua, te invito a adentrarte en un espacio donde la calma y la curiosidad se entrelazan. Hoy exploraremos un secreto olvidado, una sabiduría ancestral que las grandes fortunas, los líderes visionarios y los pensadores más influyentes siempre parecieron conocer. La noche no es solo un periodo de inactividad, sino una parte fundamental de la estrategia. Es el lienzo donde la mente, liberada del día, puede pintar los trazos de un futuro próspero, un camino hacia el éxito que se gesta en el silencio y el reposo. Piensa por un momento en el valor que le damos a nuestras horas de vigilia, a la acción constante, al hacer. Nos han enseñado que el esfuerzo incansable, la dedicación diurna, son los pilares de cualquier logro. Y es cierto, en parte. Pero, ¿y si te dijera que una porción significativa de esa dedicación, la más sutil y profunda, tiene lugar precisamente cuando creemos que estamos desconectados? ¿Y si los momentos antes de dormir y las horas de sueño no fueran un paréntesis, sino un crisol donde se forjan ideas, se resuelven problemas y se atraen oportunidades? Todo ello mientras nuestro cuerpo descansa. Esta noche, te contaré cómo, a lo largo de las civilizaciones, personajes históricos, místicos y, sí, también los que amasaron vastas riquezas, supieron activar el poder de la noche. No es magia, aunque a veces lo parezca. Es una profunda comprensión de la interacción entre nuestra mente consciente, el subconsciente y el flujo del tiempo. Es, En esencia, aprender a dormir como un millonario, con intención, con serenidad y con una entrega consciente a poder del tiempo que trabaja a tu favor. Empecemos nuestro recorrido en el majestuoso y enigmático antiguo Egipto. Los faraones, considerados dioses en la tierra, no dejaban nada al azar. Su prosperidad, la riqueza de su imperio y la continuidad de sus dinastías no dependían solo de la administración diurna, sino también de una profunda conexión con el mundo de los sueños y el reino nocturno. Para ellos, los sueños eran mensajes directos de los dioses, augurios del futuro, soluciones a dilemas complejos. Antes de dormir, los faraones y sus sacerdotes realizaban intrincados rituales de purificación, meditaciones y ofrendas. El objetivo no era solo descansar, sino preparar su mente para recibir la guía divina durante el sueño. Se retiraban a templos dedicados al sueño, donde pasaban la noche en busca de revelaciones que les ayudarían a gobernar, a planificar cosechas, a construir monumentos que desafiarían el tiempo, en última instancia, a asegurar la prosperidad de su pueblo y de su propia estirpe. ¿Cuántas de nuestras grandes decisiones, en verdad, no se cocinan en el silencio de nuestra mente mientras descansamos, incluso si no lo atribuimos a los dioses? Es una buena pregunta para que reflexiones en esta historia de dormir. Avanzando un poco la historia, llegamos a la sabiduría de los grandes filósofos griegos y romanos. Aunque no se les conocía precisamente por amasar fortunas monetarias en nuestro sentido moderno, su riqueza residía en el conocimiento y la influencia intelectual, pilares fundamentales de cualquier imperio duradero. Personajes como Platón o Séneca enfatizaban la importancia de la introspección y la contemplación. Para ellos, las horas nocturnas, lejos del bullicio de la polis o del foro, eran esenciales para la reflexión profunda. Séneca, en particular, hablaba de la necesidad de retirarse a sí mismo, de encontrar la calma interna para cultivar la virtud y la sabiduría. Esta práctica de la contemplación nocturna, de revisar el día y sentar las bases para el siguiente, era una forma de cultivar el alma, una riqueza que trascendía lo material y que, a menudo, llevaba a decisiones más sabias y a una mayor influencia en la sociedad. En la Roma imperial, los augurios y los sueños jugaban un papel crucial en las decisiones de Estado, desde la guerra hasta la construcción. Los cónsules y emperadores a menudo consultaban a los arúspices para interpretar sueños o signos nocturnos antes de tomar pasos importantes. Se creía que la noche, con su velo de misterio, abría una ventana a verdades ocultas, a los designios del destino. Era una forma de integrar una dimensión más allá de lo visible en la estrategia diaria, un reconocimiento de que no todo se resuelve con la lógica fría del día. Y, en cierto modo, no es muy diferente a cuando hoy decimos, lo consultaré con la almohada. ¿Verdad? Es el reconocimiento intuitivo de que el sueño posee una capacidad inigualable para reorganizar nuestros pensamientos y ofrecernos perspectivas frescas, perspectivas que, bien utilizadas, pueden conducir a un éxito rotundo. Pasamos ahora a la enigmática era medieval, un tiempo de caballeros y castillos, pero también de alquimistas y sabios ocultos. Los alquimistas, a menudo incomprendidos, no solo buscaban transformar plomo en oro físico. Su verdadera meta era una transformación mucho más profunda, la transmutación del espíritu, la búsqueda de la piedra filosofal que otorgaría sabiduría, inmortalidad, sí, también riqueza material. Para lograrlo, muchos de sus experimentos y meditaciones más intensas se llevaban a cabo durante las horas nocturnas. Creían que la oscuridad y el silencio de la noche eran propicios para la concentración, para la comunicación con fuerzas sutiles y para permitir que la psique trabajara sin interrupciones. La simbología de la alquimia a menudo hablaba de cocinar o gestar material, procesos lentos y transformadores que resonaban con el proceso del sueño. En sus laboratorios, a la luz de las velas, se gestaban no solo pociones, sino también ideas que, con el tiempo, sentarían las bases de la química moderna. Piensa en los relatos de la mesa redonda y la sabiduría de Merlín. ¿Cuántas de sus profecías y consejos no llegaron a través de visiones o sueños, o de un profundo estudio de los astros nocturnos? Estas leyendas, que a veces descartamos como meras fantasías, a menudo contienen ecos de una comprensión más profunda de la realidad, donde la noche y sus misterios eran fuentes de conocimiento y poder, elementos esenciales para guiar un reino y asegurar su prosperidad. ¿Acaso la verdadera obra de arte de nuestra vida se esculpe en los momentos de silencio, lejos del bullicio diurno, como si estuviéramos destilando la esencia de nuestro propio oro interior? Esta es otra de esas reflexiones que te propongo en esta historia de dormir. Saltando los albores del Renacimiento, encontramos figuras como Leonardo da Vinci. Este genio universal, un hombre cuya mente parecía operar en múltiples dimensiones. Es conocido por sus cuadernos repletos de inventos, anatomía, arte y observaciones del mundo. Aunque se debate si realmente practicaba el sueño polifásico, dormir en periodos cortos a lo largo del día y la noche, lo que sí es innegable es su uso estratégico del tiempo. Se dice que sus ideas más revolucionarias a menudo surgían en momentos de profundo descanso o en el umbral entre la vigilia y el sueño, cuando la mente consciente se relajaba y el subconsciente liberaba su torrente creativo. Él, como otros grandes artistas y pensadores de su época, entendía que la inspiración no es solo un golpe de suerte, sino el resultado de una mente bien preparada que sabe cuándo activarse y cuándo entregarse al reposo fértil de la noche. Los mercaderes y banqueros de las grandes ciudades italianas, que sentaron las bases del capitalismo moderno, también comprendían el valor de la planificación y la reflexión. Las noches no solo eran para descansar en los números y las negociaciones, eran para trazar estrategias, para visualizar el futuro, para consolidar tratos en la mente antes de que el sol volviera a brillar. El silencio nocturno les ofrecía una ventaja estratégica, permitiéndoles anticipar movimientos de mercado, identificar nuevas oportunidades y consolidar su visión. Nos dirigimos ahora hacia el este, hacia las ricas tradiciones de China y Japón, donde la relación con la noche y el descanso es igualmente profunda, aunque con matices diferentes. En las tradiciones taoístas y zen, la meditación es una práctica central. Los maestros zen a menudo realizaban sesiones de meditación intensivas, algunas de las cuales se extendían hasta bien entrada la noche o comenzaban en las primeras horas de la madrugada, antes del amanecer. Creían que la quietud de la noche era el momento óptimo para alcanzar estados profundos de conciencia, para silenciar el mono de la mente y acceder a la sabiduría interior. Esta sabiduría no solo les aportaba paz, sino también una claridad mental excepcional que se traducía en una toma de decisiones más acertada, una mayor capacidad para influir en sus comunidades y una vida más plena, lo que, en su contexto, era una forma de riqueza incalculable. En el taoísmo, se enfatiza la importancia de cultivar la energía vital, hoy, y se creía que las horas de sueño eran cruciales para este proceso. Un sueño reparador, en armonía con los ciclos naturales, no solo restauraba el cuerpo, sino que también fortalecía la energía interna, la base de la vitalidad, la creatividad y, en última instancia, la capacidad de manifestar la prosperidad en la vida. En la cultura popular china, existen numerosas leyendas sobre sueños de dragones, que simbolizan el poder y la fortuna, augurando grandes éxitos para quienes los tenían. Esta es una historia de dormir que te invita a recordar que el poder de la visualización y la intención antes del sueño puede ser un puente hacia estas energías más sutiles que propician la abundancia. ¿Y qué me dices de las culturas indígenas, desde las tribus de América del Norte hasta los aborígenes australianos? Para muchas de ellas, el tiempo de los sueños o el dream time no era menos real que el mundo de la vigilia, a menudo incluso más. Los chamanes y líderes tribales realizaban búsquedas de visión, a menudo en aislamiento y durante la noche, para recibir guía espiritual, encontrar soluciones para su comunidad o interpretar el futuro. Los sueños eran considerados un portal al conocimiento ancestral, una forma de comunicarse con los espíritus de la tierra y los antepasados. Las decisiones cruciales sobre la caza, las migraciones o los conflictos se tomaban a menudo basándose en las revelaciones nocturnas. Su riqueza no se medía en oro, sino en la salud de su comunidad, la abundancia de recursos naturales y la profunda conexión con el espíritu de la tierra, todo lo cual era sostenido y nutrido por la sabiduría que se obtenía en la quietud de la noche. Y si nuestra intuición, esa voz interior que a menudo ignoramos en el día, es la sabiduría ancestral que nos habla en el crepúsculo, esperando que la escuchemos, ahora, volvamos a nuestro presente, a la era moderna, donde el ruido y la prisa a menudo nos desconectan de estas verdades atemporales. ¿Cómo se manifiestan estas prácticas silenciosas de los millonarios hoy en día? Aunque ya no consultemos oráculos o alquimistas, los principios subyacentes permanecen. Los líderes empresariales, los inversores exitosos y las personas que parecen tenerlo todo a menudo cultivan rituales nocturnos que, conscientemente o no, replican esta sabiduría ancestral. Muchos de ellos practican la meditación antes de dormir, no solo para relajarse, sino para limpiar la mente, para soltar las preocupaciones del día y para sembrar intenciones claras para el mañana. Otros llevan un diario nocturno, donde escriben sus pensamientos, sus gratitudes, sus logros y también los desafíos pendientes. Esta práctica no solo libera la mente, sino que también activa el subconsciente para que trabaje en esos problemas mientras duermen, a menudo despertando con ideas brillantes o soluciones inesperadas. Hay quienes dedican los últimos minutos de su día a la visualización. No solo visualizan el éxito en sus proyectos, sino que imaginan la sensación de abundancia, la tranquilidad de sus finanzas, la fluidez de sus relaciones. Crean un mapa mental para que su subconsciente lo procese y lo manifieste en la realidad. Recuerda, esta es una historia de dormir, y tu subconsciente es increíblemente receptivo a las intenciones claras que le ofreces justo antes de entregarte al sueño. Piensa en esos momentos en los que te has despertado con una idea clara para un problema que te atormentaba el día anterior o una solución creativa que parecía venir de la nada. Esa es la magia del sueño trabajando para ti. Los millonarios, los visionarios, no dejan esto al azar. Lo cultivan, lo honran, lo integran en su estrategia de vida. Entienden que el verdadero descanso no es inactividad, sino una forma activa de preparación, de incubación, de gestación de nuevas realidades. Es un momento para confiar en que el tiempo, el universo o tu propio genio interior está trabajando en tu favor mientras tú te recargas. Me encantaría leer tus pensamientos en los comentarios sobre qué ritual nocturno te trae más paz o claridad. ¿Hay alguna práctica que ya hayas incorporado en tu vida, o alguna que te sientas inspirado o inspirada a probar después de escuchar esta historia de dormir? Tu experiencia enriquece la nuestra. A medida que esta historia de dormir llega a su fin, te invito a llevar contigo esta nueva perspectiva. La noche, con su silencio y su velo de misterio, no es un simple final del día, sino una puerta. Una puerta hacia el crecimiento, la claridad y la manifestación de tus más altos deseos. Al igual que los faraones que buscaban la guía divina, los filósofos que cultivaban la sabiduría interior, los alquimistas que transmutaban el espíritu o los maestros en que alcanzaban la iluminación, tú también puedes aprender a aprovechar el poder de tus horas de descanso. No se trata de acumular fortunas materiales, sino de cultivar una riqueza más profunda, la riqueza de la paz mental, la claridad de propósito, la capacidad de resolver desafíos con gracia y la confianza en que eres parte de un flujo mayor. Es la sabiduría de saber que el éxito no siempre exige una lucha constante, sino a menudo una entrega serena al proceso, permitiendo que el tiempo y tu propia mente trabajen en armonía. Así que, esta noche, mientras te deslizas hacia el sueño, hazlo con una nueva conciencia. Siente el colchón bajo tu cuerpo, la suavidad de las sábanas, la oscuridad envolvente. Libera cualquier tensión residual del día. Respire profundamente. Establece una intención clara, un deseo, una pregunta o simplemente una afirmación de gratitud. Permite que tu mente subconsciente sepa que confías en ella para procesar, para organizar, para crear nuevas conexiones mientras duermes. Deja que el sueño te abrace, no como una fuga, sino como un acto consciente y estratégico. Duerme sabiendo que eres parte de un legado de personas que entendieron que la noche es un regalo, una parte vital de la estrategia de una vida próspera y plena. Que tu descanso sea profundo, reparador y intentional. Que te despiertes mañana con una mente renovada, un espíritu tranquilo y la certeza de que el tiempo, incluso en el silencio de la noche, trabaja a tu favor. Duerme como un millonario, consciente, tranquilo, entregado al poder del tiempo. Que tengas una noche maravillosa. Now, let us delve deeper into the very fabric of this nocturnal strategy, exploring not just what was done, but how the night intrinsically shifts the gears of our being, enabling a unique form of growth. Consider the profound transformation that occurs within the intricate pathways of your brain as you drift into slumber. It's far from mere shutdown. Instead, the nocturnal hours become a vast, silent laboratory where neural networks consolidate the day's data, reorganize information, and forge new connections with astonishing efficiency. Your subconscious, freed from the analytical scrutiny of the conscious mind, begins to process problems with an uninhibited creativity, often identifying patterns and solutions that eluded you during waking hours. The silent processing, this deep, internal work, is akin to your personal intellectual capital growing compound interest while you rest. Furthermore, this strategic engagement with the night often hinges on a peculiar paradox, the act of surrender. While the day demands active pursuit and assertive action, the night invites a conscious letting go. Those who master this art understand that clinging to problems or striving for answers just before sleep can be counterproductive. Instead, they frame their challenges, articulate their questions, and then deliberately release them, trusting that the deeper wisdom of their mind will address them without conscious intervention. This deliberate disengagement from forceful control allows for a flow of insight, often presenting itself as a sudden clarity upon waking or an intuitive nudge during the morning, guiding decisions in a way that sheer willpower rarely can. Building upon this, however, discerning individuals have often cultivated specific methods for priming their subconscious before entering the state of surrender. This goes beyond general visualization. It involves a meticulous briefing of the inner mind. For instance, before retreating for the night, one might articulate a specific complex business dilemma or a nuanced negotiation point. Rather than seeking an immediate solution, the individual poses a question to their inner faculties, effectively tasking their subconscious with the problem. This clear, concise instruction, delivered in the quiet moments before sleep, acts as a navigational beacon for the mind's nocturnal workings, setting on a focused trajectory to uncover innovative approaches or identify overlooked variables. Consequently, the very energetic signature you carry into sleep can play a significant role. A mind burdened with anxiety or regret radiates a different frequency than one steeped in gratitude and calm anticipation. Those who seem to effortlessly attract success often spend their final waking moments cultivating a state of peace and positive expectation. This isn't merely about feeling good. It's about aligning their internal state with a broader flow of opportunity. They understand that a relaxed and receptive inner landscape during deep rest can subtly influence external circumstances, acting as a quiet magnet for favorable outcomes and synchronistic events in the days that follow. It's a non-linear form of manifestation, occurring in the tranquil depths of your unconscious. Another crucial layer to this understanding involves the conscious architecture of one's personal nocturnal environment. It's not just about the quality of sleep, but the intentional creation of a sanctuary that fosters strategic rest. This might involve dimming lights long before bedtime, creating a sensory buffer from external stimuli, or engaging in quiet, non-stimulating activities. The objective is to signal to the body and mind that the frantic pace of the day has concluded, allowing the nervous system to downshift and prepare for its deeper work. Such deliberate preparation ensures that the entry into sleep is smooth, profound, and optimally conducive to the subconscious processing that fuels insight and growth. This truly is a bedtime story, reminding us that every detail contributes to the masterpiece of our lives. Building upon the understanding of nocturnal processing, a profound aspect for truly leveraging the night lies in cultivating an intentional solitude that transcends mere quiet. This isn't solely about finding solutions to existing problems, but rather about tapping into a deeper wellspring of strategic foresight and emergent ideation. The unique silence of the late hours acts as a powerful filter, dampening the incessant static of daily demands and allowing the mind to tune into fainter, yet critically important, signals. It's akin to an advanced antenna which, when shielded from interference, can detect subtle shifts in the energetic landscape of market, anticipate societal trends, or even foresee nascent technological disruptions long before they become apparent to the bustling conscious mind. This unadulterated mental space fosters an environment where genuinely novel concepts can merge, unburdened by the linear logic or immediate pressures of the day. Furthermore, the night's influence extends into what might be termed unconscious networking. While awake, we consciously strive to forge connections, analyze data, and build relationships. During sleep, however, the brain seems to operate as a vast, nocturnal switchboard, making unexpected and often brilliant connections between seemingly disparate pieces of information, or even between individuals in your sphere of influence. Many highly successful individuals recount waking with an undeniable clarity about who to collaborate with on a project, or how two entirely unrelated concepts could synergistically combine to form an innovative product or service. This isn't merely recall. It's the spontaneous synthesis of novel relationships, a subconscious strategy that capitalizes on a richer, more expansive data set than the conscious mind typically accesses. Moreover, viewing rest itself as a deliberate, high-yield investment is a pivotal shift in perspective. Instead of perceiving sleep as a necessary cessation of productive time, a cost, those who truly understand its power recognize it as an essential, proactive allocation of resources that yields disproportionately high returns. Consider it the compounding interest for your cognitive and emotional capital. The deep restoration afforded by intentional sleep directly translates into sustained bursts of creativity, significantly heightened decision-making acumen, and an unwavering resilience when facing pressure. This strategic investment in nocturnal recovery underpins a capacity for consistent, high-level performance over the long term, directly influencing the trajectory of wealth creation and sustained influence. To optimize this invaluable investment, a crucial prerequisite often observed among those who harness the night involves a strategic disengagement from digital overstimulation. It extends beyond simply creating a tidy physical sleep environment. It necessitates a deliberate digital detox. The continuous barrage of information, notifications, and blue light emitted by screens throughout the day and into the evening can prevent the brain from truly decompressing and entering the alpha and theta brainwave states conducive to profound nocturnal work. By consciously severing ties with digital inputs for a significant period before bedtime, individuals allow their neural pathways to quieten, clearing the mental noise and preparing the subconscious for its important duties, thereby ensuring that the fertile mindscape is not cluttered by irrelevant digital debris. Consequently, these cumulative practices foster precisely this fertile mindscape, a deeply receptive internal state where embryonic ideas are not only conceived but are nurtured and allowed to mature without conscious interference. Imagine preparing rich, dark soil for future harvests, even when the fields appear dormant. This careful cultivation of the nocturnal mind allows for a phenomenon where innovative leaders often describe downloading complete, intricate business models, or where artists receive fully formed concepts for their next masterpiece. This isn't about forcing ideas, but rather about creating the optimal internal conditions for them to blossom organically, transforming the hours of darkness into a powerful, quiet forge for future success. Beyond the mere restoration of energy or the incubation of creative ideas, a pivotal, often overlooked dimension of strategic nocturnal practice lies in its profound impact on emotional fortitude. For those navigating high-stakes environments, the ability to maintain composure and objective clarity under intense pressure is not just desirable, it is a strategic asset. A mind that has been allowed to fully decompress and recalibrate during deep, intentional sleep possesses an inherent resilience. It is less susceptible to the reactive impulses of fear, anxiety, or frustration that can cloud judgment during waking hours. Instead, leaders and innovators who prioritize this kind of rest often approach complex challenges with serene detachment, viewing obstacles as solvable puzzles rather than overwhelming threats. This emotional equilibrium, cultivated in the quiet of night, directly translates into more measured, rational, and ultimately more successful decision-making during the day. Furthermore, a distinct characteristic of this approach involves the conscious implementation of a strategic boundary around the day's demands. This isn't simply ceasing work. It's a deliberate, almost ceremonial act of detachment from ongoing tasks, effectively drawing a mental line in the sand. This practice shields the mind from the corrosive effects of perpetual vigilance, preventing the kind of cognitive overload that diminishes creative capacity and fuels decision fatigue. By purposefully disconnecting, individuals create an inviolable sanctuary for their mental and emotional energy, allowing their subconscious to process information without the intrusion of new inputs or the pressure of immediate deadlines. This planned disengagement is not a sign of weakness, but a calculated maneuver to preserve and enhance the mental agility required for sustained high performance. Moreover, the period just before drifting off can be strategically leveraged for a sophisticated form of future pacing and scenario simulation. This goes beyond general positive visualization. It involves mentally rehearsing upcoming events, negotiations, or critical presentations. You might, for instance, mentally play out various conversational paths in a key meeting, anticipating potential objections or identifying optimal responses, all within the low-stakes environment of your own mind. This subconscious precomputation allows for the exploration of multiple what-if scenarios, uncovering subtle nuances or potential pitfalls that might otherwise be missed. It is a proactive method for stress testing strategies and refining approaches, ensuring that when the actual event unfolds, you are not merely prepared, but intuitively attuned to the most advantageous course of action, having already navigated the terrain in your inner world. Intriguingly, this mindful engagement with the night also appears to cultivate an environment conducive to attracting fortuitous coincidences and unexpected opportunities. When the mind is habitually clear of clutter and deliberately aligned with a state of positive receptivity before sleep, it seems to enhance one's perceptiveness during waking hours. You might find yourself more acutely noticing a chance encounter, overhearing a crucial piece of information, or spontaneously connecting seemingly unrelated events that converge to create a new advantage. This isn't a mystical phenomenon, but rather the result of a subconscious mind that, having been properly primed and liberated from internal noise, becomes more adept at recognizing and seizing subtle cues from the external environment, often leading to serendipitous breakthroughs that appear almost effortless. Finally, consider the powerful efficacy of the strategic pause in the face of momentous decisions, rather than succumbing to the pressure of an immediate response. Highly effective individuals often make the deliberate choice to defer final judgment until after a night's rest. This is not procrastination. It is an intelligent, calculated utilization of the brain's nocturnal capacity for integrated processing. By consciously sleeping on it, they allow the myriad complexities, ethical considerations, and potential ramifications of choice to be synthesized by their subconscious. Often, this results in waking with an entirely fresh perspective, a previously unconsidered alternative, or an undeniable clarity that transcends purely logical reasoning, guiding them toward solutions that are both innovative and profoundly wise. It's an intelligent surrender, trust in the profound processing power of the sleeping mind to illuminate the optimal path forward. Beyond the realm of mere rest and problem incubation, truly discerning individuals have long understood that the quality of their waking engagement directly fuels the efficacy of their nocturnal processing. It's not just about what you ask your subconscious to work on, but the richness and depth of the raw material you provided throughout your active hours. Consider this: a day filled with scattered attention, superficial tasks, and constant context switching provides a jumbled, poorly organized input for your sleeping brain. Conversely, periods of deep, focused work, where you immerse yourself fully in complex challenges or creative endeavors, furnish your mind with high-fidelity data. This concentrated effort during daylight hours then offers a far more coherent and potent dataset for your subconscious to synthesize, reorganize, and illuminate during the silent hours. The sharper your focus during the day, the more profound the insights your mind can generate by night. Moreover, a fundamental practice among those who master their nights involves a deliberate cognitive offloading routine. This transcends simply reviewing the day or setting intentions. It's an active mental decluttering, akin to defragmenting a hard drive before shutting down. Many successful people dedicate a specific pre-sleep window to meticulously write down any lingering thoughts, worries, or incomplete tasks. This comprehensive brain dump, often taking the form of a detailed journal or a structured to-do list of the next day, serves a critical purpose. It psychologically unburdens the mind. By externalizing these mental fragments, you prevent them from endlessly cycling through your thoughts, thereby clearing precious mental bandwidth. This frees the subconscious to engage in higher-order processing, fostering innovative solutions rather than merely replaying anxieties. Additionally, a nuanced understanding of one's own chronobiology plays a significant role in optimizing the night's strategic potential. We each possess an innate circadian rhythm, an internal biological clock dictating our individual peaks of alertness, creativity, and physical energy. The most effective strategists don't merely adhere to a rigid sleep schedule. They align their most demanding mental tasks with their personal peak performance windows during the day, ensuring they capitalize on their natural periods of mental acuity. Correspondingly, they schedule their deeper, more restorative sleep periods to coincide with their natural biological inclination for rest. This harmony between an individual's unique biological clock and their intentional scheduling of both work and rest maximizes both daytime productivity and nighttime restorative, problem-solving capabilities, transforming the entire 24-hour cycle into a finely tuned engine for progress. Now, consider the intricate design of the sleep environment itself, extending far beyond basic comfort. For some, creating a truly optimal nocturnal sanctuary involves an almost obsessive attention to detail, aimed at eliminating any sensory interference that might disrupt the delicate architecture of deep sleep. This could involve investing in advanced soundproofing technology to mute external disturbances, utilizing specialized blackout shades to achieve absolute darkness, or even regulating ambient temperature and humidity to precise personal preferences. Furthermore, the strategic use of specific bedding materials, designed for optimal thermal regulation and tactile comfort, contributes to a state of profound relaxation. This meticulous control over the sleep environment is not merely about luxury. It's a calculated investment in preserving the integrity of the crucial brainwave states, like delta waves, essential for the deepest forms of subconscious work and physical rejuvenation, ensuring that the nocturnal laboratory operates at peak efficiency. Finally, the acquisition of insights during the night is only half the equation. The other half lies in strategic capture and immediate integration. Waking with a brilliant idea or a clear solution is a common experience, but its value is ephemeral if not immediately acted upon. High achievers often employ specific morning rituals to capture these fleeting nocturnal revelations before the conscious mind's filtering mechanisms take over. This might involve keeping a voice recorder by the bedside, immediately transcribing dream fragments or waking thoughts into a journal, or dedicating the very first moment of the day to mindful reflection. This swift capture ensures that the subconscious's overnight work is not lost, but rather seamlessly translated into actionable steps, thereby maximizing practical yield from your strategic nocturnal investment. Beyond merely consolidating information or fostering creative leaps, another layer of nocturnal mastery involves consciously engaging with symbolic archetypes in the moments preceding sleep. This sophisticated technique moves past simple visualization of outcomes and delves into invoking universal patterns of wisdom or power. For instance, an individual might mentally call upon the archetype of the navigator to chart an intricate business course through uncertain markets, or visualize the alchemist transforming complex challenges into elegant solutions. This intentional invocation of symbolic frameworks, rather than concrete scenarios, taps into deeper cognitive reservoirs, allowing the subconscious to process dilemmas through a more abstract, potent lens, often yielding insights that are both profound and universally applicable. It's a method of tapping into collective human wisdom, not just personal experience. Furthermore, a significant distinction exists between simply acknowledging gratitude and deliberately cultivating an embodied state of abundance before drifting into slumber. This practice transcends a mental checklist of fortunate circumstances. It involves consciously evoking the visceral feeling of having achieved one's most ambitious goals, of already experiencing the desired prosperity. By immersing oneself in this rich emotional landscape, the sense of deep satisfaction, security, and fulfilled purpose, the individual is believed to align their energetic signature with the very frequency of their aspirations. This deeply felt resonance, sustained in a receptive state of sleep, create a powerful internal blueprint for external manifestation, subtly drawing opportunities and resources into one's orbit without overt conscious effort. Indeed, the unwavering commitment to a non-negotiable nightly ritual itself forms a cornerstone of this strategic approach, independent of the ritual's specific content. This isn't just about routine. It's about establishing a sacred, inviolable boundary between the relentless demands of the day and the restorative, generative power of the night. The very act of consistent adherence to this designated pre-sleep protocol instills a profound sense of mental discipline and self-mastery. Over time, the steadfast commitment conditions the mind to anticipate and prepare for its deeper nocturnal work, reinforcing the brain's expectation of profound processing and invaluable insights. This ritualized transition serves as a powerful psychological anchor, signaling the shift from doing to being, from external engagement to internal cultivation. Consequently, engaging in these practices can subtly yet significantly alter an individual's perception of time itself. Instead of experiencing time as a linear, pressing commodity, marked by immediate deadlines and short-term anxieties, a more expansive, fluid understanding emerges. This shift allows for a greater capacity for long-range strategic planning and patience, detaching decision-making from urgent impulses and aligning it with broader trends and enduring objectives. The subconscious, unconstrained by the clock, operates on a different temporal plane, fostering insights that account for future implications in a way that the pressured conscious mind rarely can. This deeper temporal awareness cultivates a strategic detachment, enabling more profound and sustainable approach to growth. Ultimately, these combined approaches coalesce into what might be termed sleep intelligence, a sophisticated awareness and skill in understanding one's unique sleep physiology and even influencing dream content for strategic outcomes. This goes beyond merely tracking sleep patterns. It involves learning to interpret one's own dream language, identifying recurring symbols or themes that offer guidance, and even, for some, cultivating lucid dreaming techniques to consciously explore potential solutions within the dreamscape itself. It's about becoming a skilled cartographer of one's own nocturnal inner world, actively learning to navigate and utilize these profound mental states to gain distinct advantages, transforming passive rest into an active, personalized quest for insight and mastery. Now, consider how the deliberate cultivation of one's nocturnal landscape dramatically reconfigures your very presence in the waking world, imbuing you with an almost magnetic influence. When the mind has undergone its silent, transformative processing each night, individuals emerge with an understated gravitas, a settled confidence that resonates in every interaction. This isn't merely about feeling rested. It's about projecting an aura of composed authority, born from an inner certainty. Imagine stepping into a crucial negotiation, not with a mind buzzing from unfinished tasks, but with an unshakable inner calm. This deeply ingrained tranquility fosters a profound sense of trust in others, as your clarity of thought and measured responses signal reliability, making you a more compelling leader and a more persuasive voice. Furthermore, this nocturnal wisdom extends far beyond mere problem solving. It profoundly reshapes one's relationship with risk and uncertainty. While most shy away from ambiguity, a mind consistently nurtured by strategic rest develops an intrinsic comfort with the unknown, viewing it not as a threat, but as fertile ground for innovation. The subconscious, having rehearsed myriad scenarios and weighed countless variables in the quiet hours, cultivates a discerning intuition for truly calculated risks. This allows individuals to make bold, decisive moves where others hesitate, possessing an almost prescient understanding of emerging opportunities. It's the difference between blindly leaping and taking a carefully considered, yet audacious, stride forward, guided by a deeper, integrated intelligence. Delving deeper, this quiet nighttime work invariably strengthens an individual's ethical framework and their vision for enduring legacy. When the immediate pressures of profit and performance recede, replaced by the profound stillness of pre-sleep reflection, core values come into sharper focus. The relentless pursuit of short-term gains often obscures the long-term impact of decisions. However, a mind accustomed to navigating its deeper currents overnight tends to prioritize sustainability, integrity, and meaningful contribution. This cultivated ethical clarity allows for choices that not only benefit the bottom line, but also build a reputable foundation, ensuring that success is not fleeting but impactful for generations, an indelible mark etched onto the fabric of time. Beyond generating new ideas, the night also serves as an unparalleled filter, providing the discerning clarity to engage in strategic unlearning or, more precisely, subtraction. In a world obsessed with accumulation, the true masters of growth understand the power of elimination. The stillness of the night illuminates what is no longer serving your highest purpose, be it draining projects, unfulfilling relationships, or deeply ingrained habits that impede progress. This isn't reactive discarding, but a deliberate, almost surgical identification of elements to shed, thereby freeing up invaluable mental, emotional, and physical capital. It's akin to pruning a magnificent tree, allowing its remaining branches to flourish with renewed vigor and focus. Consequently, the consistent application of these nocturnal disciplines, day after day, year after year, fundamentally alters the very operating system of the self. It transcends isolated benefits, culminating in an unshakable internal compass, a deep-seated sense of purpose and direction that guides every waking action. This sustained regimen builds an extraordinary resilience to external shocks, whether market fluctuations, personal setbacks, or unforeseen challenges. Instead of reacting with panic, a mind fortified by strategic rest responds with calm deliberation, able to pivot and adapt with remarkable agility. This is not merely resilience. It is a profound internal mastery, a quiet strength cultivated in the sanctuary of sleep, enabling one to navigate life's complexities with unparalleled poise and unwavering conviction. Now, consider how the deliberate orchestration of your nocturnal journey taps into neural mechanisms far more sophisticated than simple rest, accessing a unique cognitive reservoir that remains largely dormant during waking hours. This involves not just silence in the conscious mind, but actively guiding it into specific brainwave states, the deep, slow delta waves, for instance, which are not merely about physical recuperation, but are intrinsically linked to profound neuroplasticity. Within these states, the brain performs an intricate rewiring, not just consolidating memories, but reevaluating their emotional salience, detaching from trivial anxieties, and strengthening the neural pathways for innovative pattern recognition. This is where truly complex, multivariable problems are not simply solved, but often dissolved, revealing solutions that defy linear logic. Furthermore, a nuanced application of pre-sleep intellectual priming differentiates the merely restful from the strategically empowered. This practice involves deliberately feeding the mind highly specific, unresolved intellectual challenges or complex data sets just before sleep, without the expectation of immediate conscious analysis. It's akin to loading a sophisticated supercomputer with a vast amount of raw information, then allowing its deep algorithms to operate autonomously overnight. For instance, an executive might review intricate financial models or market trend analyses, not to memorize, but to immerse the subconscious in the raw patterns. The ensuing sleep then becomes a crucible where these disparate data points are cross-referenced, synthesized, and transformed into emergent strategic insights, frequently manifesting as an intuitive understanding or a clear conceptual framework upon waking. Consequently, the most astute practitioners recognize that the night's insights are part of an iterative, self-correcting feedback loop, not a standalone revelation. Waking insights are merely the first stage. These nascent ideas are then rigorously tested and applied in the crucible of the following day's challenges. The outcomes, whether successes or necessary adjustments, then become the new input for the subsequent night's processing. This continuous cycle of nocturnal synthesis and diurnal application refines strategies with remarkable efficiency, transforming raw intuition into battle-tested wisdom. This iterative process allows for a rapid evolution of decision-making capabilities, making each night a preparatory stage for the next day's strategic advancements. Indeed, the sophisticated control over one's nocturnal environment extends far beyond merely ensuring quiet and darkness. It delves into the realm of precise sensory conditioning designed to optimize brainwave entrainment. Imagine employing specific, very low-frequency binaural beats, meticulously calibrated to encourage the brain into deeper delta or theta states, thereby enhancing the mind's capacity for profound processing. Some utilize custom light filters that entirely block blue spectrum light in the hours preceding sleep, or precisely humidify the air to optimize respiratory comfort, all contributing to a seamless transition into restorative sleep. These carefully engineered conditions create an almost hermetically sealed cognitive chamber, maximizing the efficacy of the brain's nocturnal work, ensuring that every minute of rest is strategically leveraged for peak mental output. Another crucial layer in this strategy involves what could be termed intelligent surrender, a distinct and active choice to temporarily relinquish conscious control. It's not a passive retreat. Instead, it is a deliberate act of entrusting unresolved problems or creative blockages to the autonomous, non-linear processing power of the subconscious. When facing an intractable dilemma, rather than forcing a solution, an individual might consciously say to themselves, "My inner wisdom will process this while I rest," then disengage completely. This strategic laziness paradoxically empowers the deeper mind, allowing it to explore unconventional pathways unconstrained by the conscious mind's logical biases, often resulting in elegant solutions that are both unexpected and profoundly effective. This calculated relinquishing of control transforms a potential source of stress into a powerful, generative resource. In essence, these refined nocturnal practices don't simply lead to better sleep. They fundamentally re-engineer the individual's entire cognitive architecture. By optimizing these silent hours, one cultivates a distinct mental agility and an almost prophetic foresight, moving beyond reactive problem-solving to proactive pattern recognition. This deep understanding of how to harness the night's potent forces elevates rest from a mere physiological necessity to a deliberate, high-yield investment, forging an internal clarity and an external influence that is truly unparalleled. Reflecting on this profound journey through quiet hours, an undeniable truth begins to unfold before us, revealing a tapestry woven not with disparate threads of advice, but with intricate, interconnected wisdom that transcends epochs and cultures. It becomes increasingly evident that the architects of enduring prosperity, influence, and profound personal clarity across millennia were not merely performing discrete actions. Rather, they were orchestrating a subtle, holistic alignment of their inner and outer worlds, consciously leveraging the very rhythm and flow of existence itself. This deep resonance with the ebb and flow of time, particularly its nocturnal currents, is what distinguishes a transient achievement from a sustainable legacy. We are witnessing the contours of a mastery that redefines productivity, shifting its locus from ceaseless external striving to an equally potent internal cultivation. Conceive of the human spirit not as a static entity, but as a complex, resonant instrument, capable of producing its most harmonious and powerful melodies not in the insistent cacophony of daylight, but when meticulously tuned in profound, unblemished stillness of the night. The very conceptual insights we've gently explored thus far coalesce into something far greater than their individual parts. They transform mere nocturnal cessation into an active crucible of personal and professional evolution, a silent forge where raw potential is refined into purposeful reality. This isn't about accumulating more tasks or burdens. Rather, it's about refining the existing energetic currents of your being, allowing them to flow with greater intention and efficiency, generating profound impact even when your conscious mind is surrendered to repose. It is a re-envisioning of growth itself, moving beyond linear effort to embrace a more organic, cyclical progression. As these subtle, integrated practices become a cornerstone of one's approach, an almost uncanny clarity begins to emerge as a natural consequence. Decision-making, once perhaps fraught with overthinking, external noise, or the push of immediate pressures, gradually acquires an intuitive grace, guided by insights cultivated in deeper states of awareness. The daily challenges that previously seemed formidable or even insurmountable often dissolve in unexpected ease, not through brute force, but addressed by a quiet resilience forged in the serene depth of intentional repose. This cultivated internal landscape fosters a profound sense of trust in one's own inner compass, allowing for both bold, decisive moves and serene, adaptable navigation to the inherent complexities of life's evolving landscape. It's a fundamental recalibration of one's reactive mechanisms, replaced by a centered, anticipatory presence. The very fabric of time, too, is profoundly reperceived through this lens. No longer a relentless ticking clock demanding constant output and immediate gratification, it transforms into an expansive, patient collaborator, actively working on your behalf even as you release conscious control. Opportunities, often elusive or invisible to the hurried eye, seem to coalesce and present themselves with natural synchronicity, drawn by a refined internal resonance that vibrates with purposeful intent and a clear, energetic signature. This isn't about frantically chasing after every fleeting prospect. It's about attracting, about cultivating an internal environment so deeply aligned and receptive that the desired elements, be they insights, resources, or connections, gravitate towards it, as if guided by an unseen, powerful current. It reveals a mastery over the unseen forces that shape destiny, allowing progress to unfold with surprising effortlessness. This holistic understanding, drawing together these previously distinct threads, invites each of us to reconsider our fundamental relationship with the essential cycles of activity and rest, illuminating precisely how deeply and synergistically intertwined they are in shaping the trajectory of our destiny. As we stand at the threshold of this story's gentle conclusion, ponder how such an integrated approach might fundamentally redefine your own journey, transforming what once seemed like mere downtime into a strategic frontier for unparalleled growth. It's about embracing a wisdom that transcends the superficial demands of constant exertion, allowing the profound power of intentional stillness and cultivated nocturnal insight to sculpt a richer, more intentional, and ultimately more impactful existence. What remains now is a quiet yet powerful invitation to internalize these enduring principles, to find your own unique harmony within this grand, silent orchestration of success. As the quiet tapestry of our story gently unfurls its final threads, we find ourselves standing at the precipice of profound realization, one that dissolves the conventional boundaries between our waking striving and our deepest repose. The journey we've shared tonight, traversing the ancient empires, the alchemist's hidden chambers, and the tranquil meditations of Zen masters, illuminates a single, unifying truth. The night is not merely a cessation of effort, a blank canvas awaiting the next sunrise, but an active, indispensable architect of our most meaningful achievements. It is within these silent hours that the true, enduring architecture of success is often meticulously drawn and subtly fortified. This wisdom, whispered through time by those who built empires of commerce, culture, and consciousness, reveals a fundamental recalibration of our relationship with the 24-hour cycle. It's an invitation to transcend the common perception of sleep as a mere physiological necessity, transforming it instead into a deliberate, high-yield investment. Imagine your mind not as a machine that simply shuts down, but as an advanced, autonomous processing unit, diligently synthesizing the day's complexities, refining nascent ideas, and strengthening the neural pathways of insight, all while your conscious self surrenders to the embrace of slumber. This nocturnal alchemy is where raw experience is transmuted into refined wisdom, and where the seeds of tomorrow's breakthroughs are tenderly nurtured. The core message, then, is one of integrated mastery. It's the understanding that true prosperity, be it financial, intellectual, emotional, or spiritual, blossoms most vibrantly when there is a harmonious alliance between focused daytime action and strategically leveraged nighttime cultivation. This isn't about working harder in the dark. It's about working smarter with the very essence of time itself. By consciously preparing our internal landscape before sleep, through gratitude, intention, mindful release of anxieties, or intellectual priming, we are not just winding down. We are actively commissioning our subconscious to work on our behalf, engaging in profound, nonlinear intelligence that often surpasses the limitations of our waking analytical mind. This approach imbues life with exquisite clarity, forging an inner compass that points unerringly towards purpose and possibility. When the mind is routinely cleansed and recalibrated in the quiet forge of the night, we awaken not just refreshed, but with enhanced emotional fortitude, a sharper intuitive edge, and a composed resilience that can deftly navigate the complexities of the world. Decisions are made with greater precision, challenges are met with serene confidence, and opportunities, once overlooked, reveal themselves with surprising regularity. This is a mystical phenomenon. It's the natural outcome of a well-maintained, strategically aligned cognitive system operating at its peak potential across all its dimensions. So, as you prepare to drift into your own personal night, consider this. The true practice begins now. It's an invitation to embrace the profound power of these quiet hours, not as an escape from the world, but as a deliberate engagement with your deepest self, a strategic partnership with time itself. Allow your breath to deepen, your body to release the day's lingering tensions, and your mind to settle into a receptive calm. Set your intentions, release your burdens, and trust that the silent loom of the night is working on your behalf, weaving the fabric of your future while you rest. May your sleep be not just restorative, but profoundly generative, a conscious act of cultivation that nourishes your spirit and empowers your aspirations. May you awaken with a renewed sense of purpose, a tranquil heart, and a profound understanding that the night, in its quiet power, is indeed your most strategic ally. Sleep well, knowing that you are deeply connected to a timeless wisdom, ready to unfold your fullest potential with each passing night and each dawning day.